Hi, we're here at 2 Kingsland Avenue, the home of St. Nick's Alliance. Tonight's our big benefit, Jose. Are we all ready to go?
We certainly are. Wait, let me just check the checklist. PPE? Yep, we're ready to go.
Good. Let's get going. Come on, everyone.
Hey, what's happening here, guys?
This is our Skill Build Mobile Construction Training Lab, part of our 7-week training.
This is where our construction trainees get to build a hands-on structure using the skills and tools they learned about in class.
Wow, this is great. Thank you. Hey, Greg Mejia, facilities manager. Hey, Greg, we're not in snow season yet. We need you over. We're starting the show. Come on, let's get going. Hey, Jose, wouldn't this be a great place to build affordable housing?
And a community health center.
Wow. Uh-oh.
Guys, what are you doing? The show.
Oh.
Let's go.
Now? Okay, here we go.
Good evening. I am Joseph K. Robles, Chairman of the St. Nick's Alliance Board of Director and President of Knights Collision Experts. 2020 has been a very different year. We have all tried to figure things out despite the confusion of COVID-19. Our staff, board volunteers, and partner organizations have accomplished some amazing things. We were resilient and determined, and tonight we will tell you about some of the incredible things we have achieved right on the grounds for which we have advocated and were determined to meet important community needs. Yes, 2020 was a different year, and the benefit will be a different experience, one which you will be amazed. And to continue the introduction is my Vice Chair, Laura James.
Thank you, Joe. Tonight is different, as Joe mentioned. What makes this evening so special is the poignant videos that were produced by our very own board member and renowned video producer, Michael Andrews of Gotham Pictures. Michael, everyone at St. Nick's Alliance is deeply appreciative of your storytelling, visual, and production skills. I don't know what we would do without you. Thank you so much. Please stay with us. There are some special surprises to come.
Thank you, Laura. And now I'd like to introduce the Executive Director for St. Nick's Alliance, Michael Rochford. Mike.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. Laura, our Vice Chair, thank you so much for that great opening. I'm going to take my mask off. I watched a YouTube video by Joe Biden the other night. He said, don't wear a mask in public when you're speaking, so I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm here to give our annual review. As Joe said, it's really been quite a year for us. St. Nick's Alliance is here to transform the lives of low and moderate income people through employment, education, housing, health care, and delivering those important strategies through children, families, and the elderly. As a civic anchor, we are supporting sustainable community development through the arts, through environmental efforts, and urban planning. The organization's resilient and quick to adapt. Through our board, staff, and volunteers, we met many challenges over this past year. Within days of the quarantine order, Senior Wellness Campaign was launched. We started reaching out to seniors. Eventually, we were calling 3,000 seniors a week. As we made those phone calls, we found out there was one critical need, particularly for the quarantined seniors, and that was they needed food. And we had to organize an emergency food distribution. By the height of the quarantine period, we were delivering 2,800 grocery bags and meals to residents of our community. We could have only accomplished this with the help of our friends at Los Ores, at North Brooklyn Angels, and Trinity Human Services. They were all just incredible. Simultaneously, we had to launch virtual activities, classrooms, after school, adult education, all went virtual within a matter of a week. It was really quite amazing. At the same time, over 600 staff continue to be essential workers. Our home care workers, the building maintenance staff, and those that were delivering food. Every day they went out despite the threat of catching COVID, and they were there to serve their clients. Our team was simply awesome, and they were finding innovative ways to cope with the very changed landscape we were encountering. Job training continued in virtual as well. We were able to place over 36 laid-off workers in essential jobs. We served over 125 workers looking for work during that period of time. At the same time, we have the largest development pipeline in our history. Over 1,600 units are slated for development across our community. And that production had to move forward, despite the fact that financial markets were freezing up on us and threatened the viability of many of our new development projects. I'm happy to say that we're hitting all our deadlines and we're moving forward and we're being very successful to move all of those projects into development. We staffed the regional enrichment centers for the Department of Education. We also opened 3 summer camps this summer, all done safely. No children had illness. It was really a fabulous thing to be able to do. And at the same time, we were able to find employment for 500 young adults over the summer. Deep cuts in our budget have really threatened much of what we do, particularly in the area of tenant advocacy, where we've had the deepest cuts. And that's given us great pause. Nevertheless, we are determined to move forward with our tenant advocacy to make sure that no resident is illegally evicted from their apartment as a result of the rising land values within our neighborhood. We couldn't have done this without you and without our supporters. Thanks to your personal support, we reached a peak of contributions during the COVID campaign. In addition, we had the support of the Robin Hood Foundation, the New York Community Trust, the Brooklyn Foundation, the Rubenstein Partners, and a number of other foundations that all supported us in that work. Our COVID-19 response campaign was just a huge success thanks to you. We truly are humbled by all of your support, and particularly the efforts of our board members, our volunteers, and our staff. It's been an incredible experience, and we will continue to move on as we hope to come out of this crazy year that we've lived in and get back to normal. Let me introduce our first video introducers, Ms. Felice Kirby and Mr. Juan Ramos from Los Ores. Juan, Felice, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Every time I hear about the incredible work of St. Nick's Alliance, going all these more than 4 decades, I'm just blown away. It takes me a minute to remember. My name is Felice Kirby. I'm on the board of North Brooklyn Neighbors, and in a joint effort with them and the People's Firehouse to build the North Side Town Hall Community and Cultural Center at the Firehouse. But I'm also here to speak as the director of the North Brooklyn Angels, a mobile soup kitchen which operates midday meals 6 days a week in Greenpoint and Williamsburg. There's a wonderful history of working together with nonprofits and small businesses, especially in crisis like we did in Sandy. But then we faced this pandemic, which was God smacked all of us, and could never have been an event that we could rise to handle, to distribute over 500,000 pounds of bulk food, to pass out over 80,000 meals if we weren't closely collaborating with some of the great community organizations who pioneered this work, like my colleague, Juan Ramos.
Thank you, Feliz. My name is Juan Ramos, and I'm the Executive Director of Southside United, HDFC, Los Sures. We, like St. Nick's, are developers and managers of affordable housing. We are also organizers in our community and deliver social services. And we also operate a food pantry where we serve over 900 families per week. The COVID crisis hit our community hard, and we had job losses, isolation from the quarantine. However, our community and our organizations have a long history of working together. And during the quarantine, Mike called me and asked for some assistance to help reach seniors and feed our seniors. Our food pantry didn't have the excess of food, but we were determined to help St. Nick's in the same way that St. Nick's has helped us in the past. This series and the series of incredible events led to us together feeding over 50,000 people in our community. And to show that effort, we want you to watch this video that was put together.
Juan, before we start the video, I want to thank Federated National Land for their amazing donation.
And I'd like to thank Guzman, Mina, Baker, and Sunfelt for their generous gift. The St. Nick's Alliance team appreciates your support, especially this year.
St. Nick's Alliance really focuses on low and moderate income families and individuals. So these folks are, in desperate need of resources. So when COVID hit, our families were hit pretty hard.
Well, when the city shut down, people lost their jobs. That means no food for some of the families. The senior center's closing, so that means the seniors have no food. Now the community center closing, where the kids go, now they're not gonna have these meals.
We were 12 hours away from shutting down in March when the governor declared us an essential service. And the local pastor in the church gave us the keys as he was locking up the church and said, go for it, do what you can.
I collected a list from about 6 or 7 of the sites we feed at, and then I started getting calls. A call from St. Nick's, who were not in the emergency food business, and they said, hey, we think we're gonna have to feed 500 households. What do you think? How can we collaborate?
And so many of us started collaborating closely, working together to be able to get these resources to them. So we formed partnerships. We created an emergency food pantry over at our 211 Ainsley Street Center. And we made sure to check in on all of our seniors.
We were ordering food from Food Bank, City Harvest, and Driscoll. And then St. Nick's Alliance was providing the volunteers and transport to come and pick the food here and then deliver that food to their clients who are homebound.
St. Nick's also was able to send us some of their staff and volunteers to help us at our food pantry, which really helped our operations a lot.
Our partners included Most Holy Trinity, Los Sures, North Brooklyn Angels. We also worked with Lucky's Tomato, another referral made possible through Feliz and North Brooklyn Angels. And they were phenomenal in providing fresh vegetables, tomatoes, zucchinis, etc.
What's happening here this morning at Lucky Tomatoes is we have the joy of loading up the Farmers to Families vegetable boxes.
And through that grant, 500,000 pounds of fresh food has gone to the 20,000 people represented by these frontline organizers.
These organizations came together. I mean, not only do I feed the tenants within Cooper Park houses, it goes through the whole community. We don't leave nobody out, and I really appreciate the support that I get from these people. And I was giving out meals 6 days out the week. I was giving out meals from Saturday. Only day I rested was Sunday.
During the height of the pandemic, we saw just how much respect we have for one another, how much respect we have for each other's work, but also understanding the populations that we serve and how vulnerable they are.
It's not surprising to me that all these groups would immediately jump in together and start working together, and people bringing different things to the table.
I think those of us who envisioned the organization, what we see is the smiles on the people doing the work.
So one of the things that encourages me the most is literally neighbors helping neighbors.
I want to thank you for taking the time to be here, thinking about others instead of yourselves.
There's a lot of people out there who say they're going to do this and that, but we're here making it happen whenever we can. So that makes us feel good. Yes.
They open the door and they see us with food and they just get like really excited. And they're like, I could eat today. Like, I really appreciate that. And it makes all of this worth it.
Good evening. I'm Ed Brittenham, and I'm a board member with St. Nick's Alliance.
And I'm Jose Leon. I'm the Deputy Executive Director at St. Nick's Alliance.
Each year, St. Nick's Alliance's workforce team helps more than 1,300 North Brooklyn residents land well-paying jobs in growth industries. We partner with major North Brooklyn employers, including Two Trees, Mega Contracting, Bank of America, ICP, and Woodhill Hospital to provide our clients with the skills they need to succeed. Each client is assigned a job coach who guides them through training and helps them overcome any barriers to holding down a job.
We provide employment services in 4 areas. Our skills training module provides industry-recognized training in construction, urban greenscaping, information technology, and healthcare. In the past 12 months, we have trained over 200 individuals and placed 180 graduates in wages ranging from $17 to $20 per hour. Our first job team prepares job seekers to immediately find and keep a job. Our adult education unit helps adults secure high school equivalency diploma, improve their education level, and or learn English for work. In the past 12 months, 25 adults received their equivalency diploma and 135 improved 1 grade level or greater. And our career GPS team works with young adults ages 16 to 24 with skills training, job search, and education to successfully enter the workforce. Our team successfully trained 64 young adults and placed 56 in internships and 39 in good living wage jobs in the past 12 months. Ed, before we start the workforce video, I want to acknowledge some of the donations that have just come in. Hub International, a supporter for many years, and Pristine Paint, a new donor.
And I'd like to thank 2 of our housing division supporters, Mega Contracting and Notias Construction, for their very generous support. Nancy Lasher, who works on our workforce team, also made an extremely generous donation. We're proud of our team and the outcomes achieved by our clients. These outcomes are made possible in part by your generosity and support for St. Nick's Alliance. Please consider making a donation to support this important work today.
In closing, please support our work, again, by making a donation at stnicksalliancebenefit.org. We are excited to share this awesome video created by board member Michael Andrews on our workforce services. Check out the video.
So after a pep talk by my girlfriend, I realized I had to change my situation.
Well, originally I was just stressed and depressed for a while. And I was in the house doing nothing, stressed out.
I had to find something, some kind of program, something to focus on.
So the Workforce Development Center takes North Brooklyn residents that are looking for employment and strategically places them within several places within our program.
The Workforce Development Center serves over 1,300 people a year. We serve in 4 functional areas. The first is adult education. We also do direct employment, skills training for adults, and then we have a whole young adult sector focusing on out-of-school youth.
Who do we work with? Low-income individuals. We work with individuals that live at the New York City Housing Authority, that's NYCHA. Residents within the community of North Brooklyn and Williamsburg. Homeless, ex-offenders. It doesn't matter, we don't discriminate here.
I like to think of St. Nick's as being an enabler, really giving the community the tools they need to thrive and grow and become stronger. And St. Nick's is able to achieve those goals in workforce development primarily through partnering with a lot of our local businesses.
The Business Council helps the workforce to achieve its goal by providing advice and assistance to the team here at St. Nick's. The Business Council members often hire and recruit graduates from our skills training programs and advance them into well-paying jobs.
I think the St. Nick's Alliance and Domino construction referral program has been an extraordinary success. We've placed more than 80 folks. There's a commitment amongst the St. Nick's team that's unique. It's, personalized attention, attention to detail.
The first time I came to this park, I told myself, I'm gonna work here, I want to work here. And I made sure to make a good impression on the people. The first 2 days I was here, I kept in contact with them. And yeah, like here I am now. Cause look at this place, it's beautiful. This is like the coolest park in Brooklyn.
That Friday we had a graduation. That next Thursday, I had an interview right here. And I started working that next week. To know that I was one of the guys who worked on it and finished the building, I feel good. Every time I come past there, I smile. The experience I got out of St. Nick's was, don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. And find some place that can help you like St. Nick's.
They opened up a lot of bridges for me to find opportunities. And I did. And I still got employees that still call me for different jobs, but I'm already working.
We serve people in a multitude of ways, but the idea is that we're building a relationship with the individual and that we continue to serve them through retention, engagement.
So far, it's been like a family environment. Since the class that I've been in, we all still keep in contact with each other. If one person has a job site and they need somebody, we call each other.
So the people who come out of the St. Nick's programs are these hardworking, ambitious people. They join that program because they want more out of their lives. They want more out of their careers. If you get somebody from St. Nick's, you're gonna get a loyal, hardworking person who's humble, who's eager to learn, and who just wants to grow.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lorenzen, Director of Youth and Education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Brown, Deputy Director for Children and Youth.
Each year, St. Nick's Alliance provides a wide range of services to nearly 6,000 youth ages 2 to 24 to help them develop the academic, socio-emotional, and career readiness skills needed for success in life. We serve children across North Brooklyn through our Early Childhood Center, after-school centers, summer camps, community schools, and Career GPS Center. Perhaps it goes without saying, but this year was like no other. When schools were shuttered on March 16, our programs were needed by more than ever by children and families. Within 2 weeks, our 300 staff moved all services to remote platforms. Small World Early Childhood Center maintained children's routines through morning meetings filled with song, movement, and mini lessons. Thousands of K-8 students zoomed in for live and recorded after school, filled with arts education, literacy instruction, read-aloud contests, and virtual field trips. Teen programs kept students motivated, on track to graduate and transition into college and the workforce. Counseling sessions, self-care workshops, and grab-and-go events helped thousands of families cope with anxiety, food insecurity, and the need for PPE and school supplies.
All these accomplishments occurred alongside a virtual advocacy campaign to restore summer funding for NYC's youth services. We won partial restoration. This summer, 600 teens participated in remote internships while we safely supervised the only regional enrichment center in District 14 and 3 in-person summer camps. Now school is reopening and we're transitioning into a new era of blended learning conducted in schools and in front of computers. We are ready for what the school year brings and armed with remote and in-person curricula and a comprehensive health and safety plan, along with 4,000 donated surgical masks and countless gallons of hand sanitizers and cleaning supplies. Deborah Sue, let's give a shout out to all the generous gifts from Galaxy Construction.
Thank you also to Benchmark Title Agency and National Standard Abstract, two of our agency's longtime and very generous supporters.
Please help us continue to provide North Brooklyn's amazing youth with enriching programs and services by donating at www.stnicksalliancebenefit.org. Let me reintroduce our Executive Director, Michael Rochred.
Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Deborah. That was a wonderful presentation for the good work you're doing with children in our community. I'm here to introduce our next video. And tonight, we're sorry you couldn't all be here with us. When we originally planned this event, it was to be a live in-person event right on the grounds of the former Greenpoint Hospital. And you'll see it in the video. We have worked with a group known as the Greenpoint Renaissance Enterprise Corporation. They're all volunteers, and there were 5 organizations that gave life to it. The video tonight is going to tell the story. While we expect to see over 500 units of affordable housing built here, a new senior housing, a newly remodeled homeless shelter, a new community health center, and new senior center, there's a much bigger story than just the bricks and mortar. The people that put this together in a 30-year campaign are really, really incredible, and there's a big story behind it, and we're going to tell it tonight. They had a plan. The community had a plan. The city didn't have a plan. Eventually, they came around to the plan, and we're now ready to begin the final phase. And so let me introduce tonight's video on the Greenpoint Renaissance Enterprise Corporation. Roll the video, please.
I just would like to say I've been working at St. Nick's for 17 years now. I've been executive director, I think, for the past 6 years. And so I'm kind of new to the GREC plan. These veterans have really been the ones that have carried the project over these many years.
In 1979, the city abruptly closed Greenpoint Hospital without any notice to community residents, and the lack of services and the closure was very upsetting to the community.
When the hospital was closed down, people were absolutely shocked, and I called the people that headed up organizations like Tish Sensiata from the Concerned Citizens of Wither Street, Mildred Johnson from Cooper Park Tenant Association. I called Marie Lianza and the women from the North Brooklyn Credit Union.
And we gathered together with neighborhood people, different groups, because we were against the city's effort to use the facility without any consultation or any talk and whatever.
We were united. We all knew that something had to be done. That closing the hospital it hurt everybody.
Several groups got together, School Settlement Association, Conciliation Street Block Association, Cooper Park Residents Council, St. Nick's Alliance, as well as Neighborhood Women of Greenpoint and Williamsburg. And those groups came together with a vision for the complex.
As you can see, this particular building is supposed to mirror the hospital building, which is the main 7-story building behind it.
And as a result, elected officials were able to push the city to create a request for proposal to develop a new plan. However, the city never moved on the plan, and instead, without notice again, began moving homeless men in under the cover of darkness.
I think one of the burning issues of the day is the Greenpoint Hospital being converted to a homeless shelter. And that is certainly one of the things that the neighborhood is concerned about, and rightly so.
We're not against housing for homeless men, families, but we have a project here underway, the Greenpoint Renaissance Enterprise GREC plan for positive housing and medical facilities here at the Greenpoint shelter.
Well, they started with community meetings. Those meetings then led to protests, which included a 40-night vigil outside of the complex, where residents stood every single night. They brought media attention.
One day we all stood there and it was like 11:30 at night. And that's when all hell broke loose. Everybody was blocking the gates so that nobody could go in.
But it got worse. The city continued to move homeless men in, eventually housing 1,150 homeless men in the former hospital complex. That led to the closure of the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway.
The stopping of traffic on the BQE was pretty scary for people who participated in it, but it definitely got the attention of everyone.
So in parallel with the street protests, the group filed a lawsuit, and Brooklyn Legal Services, Brooklyn A, Marty Needleman and Wayne Saeda led the effort to file a lawsuit against the city, challenging the city that it did not comply with its own policy, which was to have a homeless shelter of no more than 200 men. The judge then ordered the city to reduce the size of the shelter from 1,150 down to 600 men. And in 1992, 4 buildings were renovated, 3 by neighborhood women and 1 by St. Nick's, and that was the big first breakthrough.
Jan Peterson is the founder of the National Congress of Neighborhood Women. She is more than just a founder of an organization. She is the heart of this community. She started things in this community that never stopped.
But we're hoping that this is going to come about and it's going to keep on developing, and maybe some will run over on Cooper Park.
As we're standing here, we just want to tell the community that the battle is not really won yet. This is part of a battle that will go on. We will not give up. If we have to tie expressways and bridges and do anything to improve the quality of life in this community, we will.
I became involved in the GREC project directly in 1990 when I became executive director. And every year we had the GREC completion of the GREC project as our priority, and we were expecting it to start break ground within 12 months, and frankly it took 12 years or more.
So, beginning in 2007, GREC members were really advocating for the city to push forward and make a decision, because the community had been waiting for the development of the site for so many years.
We had a lot of plans and they disrupted everything that we were planning. Senior citizen housing, affordable housing, a healthcare facility which was needed.
So GREC and Urban Justice Center did what they call an Article 78 action, a lawsuit about the fact the city was arbitrary and capricious, and sued the city in order to have the designation withdrawn and to designate GREC and St. Nick's. So eventually that's what the city ended up doing, and looking to try and develop the whole campus.
It's really rather sad that it took over 3 decades to do this, because it was really like a gift handed to the city to have a community that wasn't in opposition with one another, that came together proactively.
We lived here, we raised our children here, and we wanted to keep it as strong as it always been. And I think we grew by having this organization, GREC, and that we fight not only for ourselves, but what needed to be done to improve our community.
I really appreciate how we come together as a unit. And without unity and that word community, we can't work together. We can't get things done.
In this world where it sometimes seems that people can't work together, it's incredible and very powerful, I think, that we as a community are able to do that. We don't win every battle, but we have found a united consensus over a generation now. And I think we've made a difference in bringing a community back from the brink to where we are today, and maintaining the same values of enabling low and moderate income people to be successful.
And I hope to see this new generation, this new young generation, fight the way the older ones did.
Hi, Hi, my name is Frank Lang. I'm the Director of Housing for St. Nick's Alliance. I want to take you on a drone aerial tour of the redevelopment of the Greenpoint campus. St. Nick's is doing this project with partners Hudson Companies and Project Renewal. We'll be developing 550 affordable rental housing and a modern 200-bed men's shelter. We're going to lift off right in front of the old main hospital building, which will be converted to senior housing. Okay, here we go. We're flying over the new multi-family rental building along Maspeth Avenue. That 310-unit building with an 18-story tower sits in the current parking lot. It has a medical clinic, a coffee shop, and a community service space on the ground floor. A new 14-story multifamily you can see is rising in the mid-block along Jackson with 140 apartments for low-income households. It'll have a senior center on the ground floor. The former nurses' residence at Kingsland and Maspeth is going to be where the new shelter is located. And we finish our tour here on the pedestrian Skillman Avenue. So again, I'm Frank Lang. I'm the Director of Housing at St. Nick's.
And I'm Rolando Guzman, Deputy Director of Community Preservation here at St. Nick's Alliance.
You know, the Housing Division of St. Nick's Alliance focuses on ensuring that low-income residents have good quality, affordable places to live. We've developed over 2,600 units of housing and manage more than 1,750 apartments. We do that for low-income and formerly homeless households. But more importantly, we strive to help residents stay in the housing and prevent homelessness.
Annually, St. Nick's Alliance assists more than 3,000 individuals who are in risk of displacement. We provide one-to-one counseling, we provide and facilitate housing workshops on tenants' rights, and we organize tenant associations. The following video is going to highlight the amazing work that our community organizers and our housing counselors have done to make sure that families like these are able to stay in their homes and in this community.
You know, as renters are facing eviction here in New York City, it's now more crucial than ever to support St. Nick's Alliance capacity to provide these households with assistance. We hope that you can support these efforts with a donation at www.stnicksalliancebenefit.org. We also have gifts coming in from 3 of our longtime supporters, Magnuson Architecture and Planning, Goldstein Hall, and Richmond Housing. Thank you very much for your support, especially during this challenging time.
Mi nombre es Catalina Miramón y mi hija es Denise Miramón. Tiene 22 años que nos mudamos ahí al 196 de Huron.
186 Huron Street is in the heart of Greenpoint, one of the areas that is having the highest pressure for displacement for community members. That's a 6-unit building, rent stabilized, meaning that those tenants have the right to stay in those apartments as long as they wish. But the landlord decided to put that building in the market, and we noticed that this building was being promised to be sold vacant.
Recientemente te puedo decir que lo que más nos impactó ahí fue que el dueño llegó y pues dijo que tenía que vender y pues teníamos que desalojar.
He sent us a letter saying that we had 2 months to leave. If not, we were gonna get evicted from the apartment.
Each year, St. Nick's Alliance provide housing counseling services to over 1,700 families in North Brooklyn. About 1,100 of those families are facing eviction. We are 6 months through the COVID crisis, and we start having a huge wave of residents that they would tell us that they cannot afford, not even buying food, for example. So it's something just to understand that on top of the pressure that they already had for the displacement due to gentrification, now we have this economic pressure that they were not able to pay their rents.
During the pandemic, my whole family got infected with coronavirus. It started with my father and then my brother, and then consecutively me and my sister, and then The last one was my mom. She had to go to the hospital, and then my dad got laid off of work. The economic struggle we had was bearing on us on top of our health issues.
Mi preocupación también era la renta. Decía yo, ¿dónde voy a agarrar para la renta? ¿Dónde vamos a hacer esto?
Of course, the stimulus check that was provided from the government aided us, but we've lived on that check since March.
St. Nick's Alliance was able to provide to them services from check-in through wellness calls, also ensure that they had emergency food during those crisis days.
Whenever we go to court, they also go to court with us. Whenever we have to go to rallies, they're always there supporting us. So they support us economically, but also emotionally. I felt like St. Nick's provided us with a little light of positivity, that they were saying, yes, you guys are down, but you guys will rebuild yourselves.
Nos hacen sentir como su familia de ustedes y se los agradezco de verdad, que yo creo que le digo que sin ustedes, nosotros creo que estuviéramos en la calle, la verdad.
I think North Brooklyn for me, is one of the most vibrant communities and more diverse. But I think there is also two North Brooklyns. There is one that is high-income luxury housing, and there is another one that is a Bay community where tenants are really being harassed, being displaced, being pushed out of their homes.
Para nosotros, supongamos, pagar una renta de $3,500, $4,000, o sea, es imposible.
You can just picture yourself talking to a 65, 85-year-old lady that has been in this community all her life, and now the landlord wishes to sell that house and build a condo building. And that lady is coming to us asking us where I'm going now. And those are the services that we are here to make sure that community members like that lady, like those tenants at 196 Huron, are able to say, we won't go. This is our community, this is where we belong, and we are staying here.
Tonight has been an amazing night. We've reached our goal, and the committee, the fundraising committee, and the board are very, very happy. I'd like to give a big shout out to the two of our major supporters this year. The Dime Bank has generously underwritten our annual walk-run that supports summer youth. This year, the event is scheduled for October 24th, and there is still time to register. So we'll see you out there in our shorts, running. And a special thanks to CTA Architects for their extraordinary gift for the benefit. Thank you. And there's another donation that just came in from Gary Haddam, a St. Nick's Alliance alum and longtime supporter. I also see donations coming in from Sal Melly, Phil Capernegro, Pastor Philip Waldvogel, and Ed Brittenham, all St. Nick's Alliance board members. I believe we're going to get to 100% board participation this year in this event. I want to thank you all. Thanks for a great evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the run. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Gutting, a St. Nick's Alliance board member for the last 3 years and a supporting community member for almost 20. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the virtual performances and presentations as much as we enjoyed creating the experiences for you.
Good evening and hello. My name is Simone Mayu and I'm the Director of Home Care here at St. Nick's Alliance. We would like to thank you all, the donors, staff, volunteers, allies, community members, and government officials that make St. Nick's Alliance a lead in transforming the lives of North Brooklyn residents and neighbors through employment, education, housing, and health care.
I am on the board to support children, adults, and seniors in my community and to build sustainable community through the arts, environmental advocacy, and urban planning. Your contributions mean a lot. Please donate at www.stnicksalliancebenefit.org. I'm thrilled to announce that with your amazingly generous help, we have raised more than $182,000, well over our goal. We cannot thank you, our supporters, enough. In closing, It is my pleasure to introduce fellow St. Nick's Alliance board member Ray Carries and his band, The Electrics, featuring the Allman Brothers song Blue Sky, one of my favorites. Take it away, Ray.